Well, as the debate over whether to drill for natural gas in New York continues, landowners in towns such as Middlefield are growing increasingly frustrated that New York has not decided if hydrofracking will be allowed. They say they're sitting on money, but being told they can't get it. As fact finder Matt Markham reports, there is an alternative that could change the game in shale drilling.
The peaceful pastures of OTSEGO County become the battleground over the right to frack for gas.
It's time to get moving.
Jennifer Huntington filed suit against her town for banning her from doing it.
When you look at the land here, when you look at your farm, how would it be different if natural gas was being developed here right now?
The land would be basically the same. They would use a small area, a couple acres, to do a drilling pad and drill, and then that would be recovered and I could farm around it.
300 acres on the farm that could be drilled with low-volume wells. Late last week, appeals court judges ruled that the town is the judge. It can ban drilling.
If you had fracking wells on your property now, would you stop all this?
Absolutely not. I tell people ask, what would you do with the money? Invest in our land, our employees, our cattle, our equipment.
Ms. Huntington had a lease to drill on this land for about 5 years, but it wasn't renewed. The company that held the lease said there was too much uncertainty in the area.
The methodology of fracking is one of the most fracturing issues. Water and chemicals break up Marcellus shale to release gas. But a company in Canada called FRACK uses another method. Gelled propane would break up the rock. The company has made a case that its method is more environmentally friendly, since the propane comes back out of the ground, it says. The argument with traditional fracking, where water is taken from to break up rock, and how much of it and the chemicals remain in the ground.
You're using a higher priced product than water to do the fracking, but you get a lot of it back, so that there may be a return to help offset that.
Assemblyman Cliff Crouch watched his Southern Tier district cry out for gas development, while New York lingered on making a decision, and some contemplated propane fracking.
Would there need to be new health studies, new regulations drawn up?
Well, there may have to be some additional regulations to allow that. I question whether there should be some health studies. I think there's enough of it done in Canada. I would look at some of the issues that they've had to deal with up there, if there are any.
Drilling opponents say any fracking is still fracking, even if propane is what's used to break up the rock.
No matter how you do it, there's so much toxicity in the shale itself.
Frack Action says there's no sense in using an explosive agent to release gas in the Marcellus shale, which its data indicates is 70 times more radioactive than other shale plays.
Our rural, compared to the rest of the country, is almost metropolitan. So we're talking about really putting people's lives in danger and the land for generations to come.
Do you think people who support natural gas development would support an alternative way of getting natural gas from the ground?
Certainly. And I think the industry is changing daily, and they're coming up with new ideas all the time.
Huntington may only use those ideas if power in town government changes hands and the ban is dropped. New York State has not yet decided if anyone can drill anywhere. Matt Markham, CBS 6 News, OTSEGO County.
Well, GasFrack declined an interview request. The company did say it was successful in pulling gas from the ground 1,000 times with the propane method. The technology is still rather new, first used in Canada back in 2008. The company is beginning to explore shale plays also in Texas.